Episode 19 of our Redmont Rangers Road to Glory career mode here on EAFC 24, and we are still buzzing off that victory secured by the right boot of Jamie Ford in the last episode. 3-2 victory over Salford City. Jamie Ford winning it with an incredible goal, possibly goal of the season so far, late on in injury time as well, to send the Redmont Rangers fans into raptures. This episode we're going to get to the end of January, so we have two games to simulate, those being against Doncaster Rovers and then Barnsley in the EFL Trophy. We are currently in the quarterfinals of that competition actually, so getting down to the nitty gritty. Morecambe versus Oxford, Fleetwood Town versus Bristol Rovers and Cheltenham Town versus Portsmouth are the other fixtures in the quarterfinals there. First things first though, we will make a move that may be surprising to some, but I think is going to be beneficial for us in the long run. We are going to place Duggan on the transfer list. So he is only on £1,000 a week, he is only worth 275k, but I don't see a future for him here at Redmont Rangers. Jamie Ford, the 18-year-old, has shown a lot more promise this season. He is a lower overall, but only by 2, and he is 3 full years younger. It's not recency bias. I'm not just making the decision to keep Jamie Ford because he scored the winner in the last game. I think throughout the season he has shown more promise really in a Redmont Rangers shirt. We only play 2 midfielders, centre midfielders, in the vast majority of our formations. We play a 5-2-3 most often, only 2 midfielders. We've played the 4-4-2 on occasion most recently, again only 2 centre midfielders. So we've got Anderson and Francis, our 2 main defensive midfielders. We've got Ford and, both the Ford boys are our main attacking midfielders. And I don't think we really need an additional midfielder beyond that for now. I think we will next season. We're going to need to add some depth, so I think that leaves Duggan as the odd man out. Not only that, but we do still need to work down towards our financial goal here, so keeping player salary growth underneath 5%. So I'm hoping with the departures of Duggan and Smith before the end of the transfer deadline here that we should be able to get down around that 5% mark. Looking at the youth academy as well, we do have some decent midfielders. The main one being Walter here, who's up to a 62 overall, more of a winger than a central midfielder. But if we do happen to add another central midfielder to the youth academy before the end of the season, that's always somebody that we can look to bring up to replace Duggan. So Duggan and Smith both on the transfer list ahead of the deadline.
Please be patient. You'll all get a turn.
And we will just go into this press conference ahead of the game against Doncaster Rovers just to try and boost team morale a little bit. The manager rating a little low, so we could do with all the help we can get ahead of this game to make sure we come out with a victory. We'll run through the starting 11 as well. The pre-match report shows Doncaster playing a 4-3-3. Our own starting 11 is going to be pretty much what we have come to know so far this season. So Elliot Willis in goal, back 5 of Dalton, Stanley, Hutton, Dorset, the new signing, and Bevan. Ford and Anderson in midfield, and then Burgess, Dale and Just up front. So we are going to quick sim this game and hope that we can come away with a victory, which we do. A narrow victory, which most of our games seem to be this season. Ford gets on the score sheet early, that will be Sam Ford. Sterry equalises, and then Jake Dale scores the winner late on in the 75th minute. Can't see Wrexham there on the list of results, and we can't see them here either because our next game is an EFL Trophy game. Duggan is glad that we put him on the transfer list, so on the same page there. Our manager rating doesn't go up, unfortunately. We've got another scout report here for a striker, Osula. Another big, fairly strong, fairly quick man up top. He's worth chucking on the shortlist just for now. How long he stays there, I'm not sure. And we will go into this quarter-final matchup against Barnsley with a slightly altered 11. Bring Lancaster in for this game. We'll put Tavide up front in place of Jake Dale. We will give Francis the start. So a fairly defensive lineup. And Sue Hale can have a run out in this game as well, with Bullock on the bench. Duggan potentially playing his last game for Redmont Rangers in this one. So a setup like that. Not too fussed about the EFL trophy. I've said that numerous times this year. So if we end up losing in the quarterfinals, I'm not too fussed, but we don't. Bevan gets on the score sheet, Tavide scores, and Burgess scores late to secure a 3-1 victory. So we're actually through to the semi-finals of the EFL trophy, and we have arrived at transfer deadline day with an offer for Duggan already in our inbox. They've offered 270. His market value is 275. I'm tempted just to accept it outright, which I'm going to do. I don't want to risk them walking away from negotiations. I'm more bothered about getting his wages off the books than getting a really good price for him. We've also got a scouting report here from our youth scout. A couple of goalkeepers in there. We've got a very good goalkeeper in the youth academy already, so I'm not too fussed about signing one of those. This guy though, Brett Gibbs, valued at 925,000, only an 81 overall, or an 81 potential, max potential there. But to be honest, for the first probably 3 seasons at least of this Road to Glory career mode, 81 potential is going to be plenty, and he should be a decently high overall. Could be up to a 73 overall, and even 53 at the very bottom end there is kind of acceptable really for our youth academy at this stage. So we're going to sign him. 400,000 for Jack James. I do plan on promoting our goalkeeper in the youth academy fairly soon to the first team. Kurt Hodgson I do not plan on playing at any point. So let's take a look at those players. Jack James is a 55 with 70 to 94 potential, which is really good. Worse than Roman Hewitt. He is a lot bigger though, 6'5". But yeah, Roman Hewitt is the guy for now, but Jack James, definitely a good option to have down there as well. And then the other guy that was signed was Brett Gibbs, 64 overall, again a winger, so 2 good wingers here. Both right-footed unfortunately, but Brett Gibbs does have a 5-star weak foot, so what I'm going to do straight away is move him to left wing, which will only take 2 weeks. So we've got 2 good wingers here that we can promote to our first team, like pretty much as soon as possible really. I don't want to move them up just yet. I want them to continue developing down here. We can see Walter has gone up 2 overall already, so Noah Cook has gone up 5, but 3 of those points I believe were because we changed his position from centre forward to striker. So let's advance through deadline day then. We'll keep an eye on some of these transfers as we go. Nuno Mendes going to Arsenal is an interesting one. Shrewsbury also want Duggan, also willing to offer 270,000, so I do feel a little bit better about our chances of being able to move on from him this transfer window. So Mendes currently the top deal, going to Arsenal from PSG, En-Nesyri to Inter Milan, and Malero to RB Leipzig. Not a massive amount going on around the league then, or around the world really. Let's have a look in here and just see if there are any other potentially... Oh, so actually Rashford is... There's several transfers more of higher value than Mendes. It said Mendes was the top deal, but we've actually got Patrick Schick going to Manchester United, which I actually love for them. Almost 54 million. It seems like he will fit in really well and potentially be the striker that they've been looking for. Leon Goretzka goes to PSG for 60 million. Andy Robertson to Barcelona. This is another one of those funky ones that you probably wouldn't see happening in real life, but Diogo Jota to Leverkusen, I actually like quite a lot. Potentially you could see that in real life. Luis Diaz, Darwin Nunez additions to Liverpool over the last couple of seasons, so maybe Diogo Jota, one that they're looking to move on from and then strengthen elsewhere in the squad. 75 million, a good price for him as well. And then Patrick Schick has been brought in because Marcus Rashford has moved on to Barcelona for 86.5 million. So Barcelona really strengthening, spending a lot of money here, almost 150 million rather. Get Rashford and Robertson for 150,000 would be quite the coup. And then Manchester United really looking to strengthen their team as well. Signing Gonzalez here for 45 million. Bolde to Manchester City for a similar price. Julian Alvarez to Aston Villa for 45 million is an intriguing one. Liverpool replacing Diogo Jota really. Moreno to Bayern Munich. We saw him, Mobile. Rafa Varane has gone to Atletico Madrid, which is an interesting one. Lamar to Chelsea. There's En-Nesyri. Wan-Bissaka we saw. Lo Celso we saw. Emi Buendia goes to... Is that Juventus? Bergamo Calcio. I think that's maybe Juventus. Ben White to Stade Rennais. And not too much else. Barcelona also get Kyle Walker. So Barcelona with a big January transfer window. Probably one of the biggest in history. It's Redmont Rangers that we're most interested in though. And we'll see if Duggan does end up leaving the club. Would very much like to move on from Smith as well. Looks like Duggan is on his way out. Hans Newman there, seeing into the door. Ushering him out of the Redmont Rangers facility. Not particularly unhappy to see the back of him, but we wish him well. Is it Shrewsbury he ends up going to? It is Shrewsbury. So potentially we will see him at some point later this season. We do get an A though. I mean, his market value was 275. We only got 270, but they think that is the best possible deal. So that's one player out. Duggan has left the club. We are looking to move on from Fred Smith as well in this transfer window, particularly since we've got those two young wingers down in the youth academy. So if we add those to the squad, it would be Burgess, Just, Lancaster, and then those two young wingers, which I think makes that area probably the strongest in the squad. Perhaps with Jake Deb and Samson Tabide running them close. I'm not sure whether it's worth trying to move Smith in a swap deal. I do just want to get off his wages really. He's only on 1,000 as well. But I would rather just get off his wages rather than bring somebody else in. I guess we could try and bring somebody else in who's just on a couple of £100. £500 a week maybe. Nobody seems keen to buy him. I think I just saw Luis Diaz going to Roma for 50 million. Bergamo Calcio is not Juventus because Juventus are there. I've forgotten who they are then. Camavinga to PSG. Miguel Almiron to Chelsea. Tyrone Mings goes to Crystal Palace. I like that move for them. Oh, I thought we were going to have an offer there for Freddie Smith, but we don't. It's for Jamie Ford, who we do want to hang on to. So I think at this stage of proceedings, it's going to be worth looking at our shortlist and seeing if we can swap Fred Smith for somebody. It's not the end of the world if we can't, and ideally we want somebody who is on less than £1,000 a week, which we don't have on our shortlist currently. We don't really need another centre-back. Potentially we could grab a centre midfielder. And we can get this guy if we pay his release clause. Matt Smith has recently joined but looks good, so I want to leave him there. This guy, the same, looks very good. Just recently joined the club, so we can't grab him just yet. And there doesn't really seem to be many options here in terms of players that we can trade Fred Smith for, so we might just have to hang on to him. I would prefer another centre midfielder rather than a winger though, since we do have those two young guys in our youth academy. Ben Close is on 4,000 a week though at Doncaster. I'm not sure we're going to be able to get him for anything close to what Freddie Smith is on right now. We are still on 6%. The other option would be just to cut him, to release him. And we'd have to pay only 18,000 to do that. So that's actually not the worst idea, to be honest. We do have 2 million to spend. So actually it might be worth sitting and thinking about this for a little longer. Because 2 million is quite a lot. This guy's worth 1.8. I'm going to chuck in a bid for this guy. It's going to be way under what West Brom will probably want. And we're probably not going to be able to offer him the wages that he would want either. But we'll see how they feel about something like this. 1 million. Freddie Smith and a 10% sell-on clause. I don't imagine we're going to have any success here, but it's worth asking. They want 1.3 and 25% sell-on clause. I don't mind giving them that sell-on clause. I'm not sure we can quite give them that much cash though. So we'll try 1 million. They bring it down to 1.25 and 19%. What if we give you like 1.1? I'm happy with 25%. And they accept that. 1.1 and 25%. I'm really excited about this guy. He looks excellent. He's got all those play styles and they're all essential for defenders. Power header, block, intercept, anticipate and aerial. I didn't anticipate myself buying another centre-back at this deadline, but 6'2", high defensive work rate, all those play styles, really good jumping, good strength, good defensive attributes, awareness, stand tackle, slide tackle, all around a 70. I think it's going to be the wages that we might struggle with. And if we get this guy, we're basically committed to failing that objective. But he does look so incredible. We'll give him a 4-year deal. We don't want a release clause. He wants almost 5,000, which would immediately make him the highest paid player on the team. I can't give you that much. I can give you like 3.5. Let's remove that bonus and we'll give you like 150,000 signing. It's a big pay cut for him, but it is quite a substantial sum of money for us. I wish we could have thrown in Freddie Smith. Let's see how he feels about that. And he does sign on the dotted line. So a really, really big sign in there for Redmont Rangers. I think he's going to be an excellent player for us. So we see him come through the door that Duggan has just left through. Greeted by the training staff there. And Hans Newman comes to greet him as well. Getting his physical. Just to make sure he's ready and raring to go. And it's Taylor with the ugly number 13. But we'll get that changed. Caleb Taylor from West Brom. 1.1 million. I didn't anticipate spending that much money. I didn't anticipate buying yet another centre-back. at this deadline. But I think that deal is too good to pass up. He's worth 2.2. The best possible deal was 1.3. We got it for 1.1. And he looks an absolute beast, especially with those play styles. So what we're going to do with Freddie Smith now then. There's no way we're meeting that objective, so it would make sense just to hold on to him. It's currently at 6%, but I think as we advance, that's probably going to increase. Let's see what shirt number we want to give him. Number 12 is available. I guess maybe that's what number Duggan was. For now though, number 20 potentially would be a decent one for him. So he immediately becomes our second highest rated centre back after Harrison Stanley. So I think our back three is probably going to be Stanley on the left, Hutton through the middle, and then Taylor playing that right centre back position. So centre back looking very strong as well. We've got Dorset, only 21 years old. We've got Taylor, 68 overall, only 21 years old. Suhail is a decent player. Rory Bullock is a fine player, definitely good depth. Sam Carpenter is big and a good replacement in that central defensive spot in place of Aidan Hutton. Aidan Hutton himself is very good. Stanley is, whilst 30 years old and going to need to be replaced soon, still a very good player. So feeling very good about defence, feeling very good about the wings. And to be honest, I'm just going to bring Gibbs up right now. Walter we can't bring up just yet because he's only 15, but Gibbs is 17, so we're going to add him to the squad now as well, whilst we are bolstering things. So he is going to go to left wing, and we'll give him a different number as well. He can have number 30. Right, so we've got 3 hours left of January, and it doesn't look like we are going to get an offer for Freddie Smith in that time. Just an hour left. I'm content to hold on to him. If we need to, we can still release Freddie Smith. Let's check the objectives now. It is still at 6%. So I'm actually going to leave it a little longer. But if that's still at 6%, even with the addition of Caleb Taylor, then I don't understand how that objective works. Because we sold a player who was on 1,000 a week and replaced him with a player who is on 4,000 a week. So we increased our wage budget by 3,000 a week, and that percentage hasn't moved. So if it continues to not move, number one, I have no idea how it works, but number two, potentially we can release Albie Bolton as well, to be honest, and Freddie Smith, and get their wages off the books. So it's only going to be about 1,500, but maybe that will get it down towards that 5% that we need to achieve that objective. So we have Sutton in the league, and we have gone top. We have played an extra game compared to Wrexham, but we're 2 points ahead of them at the top of the table at the moment. Looks like we're going to have to heavily rotate the 11 for this particular game. Taylor's going to come straight in. I think we're going to have to play Carpenter and Stanley. We might even have to go with a 4-4-2, just because Dale and Tavide are both fit. Let's check the pre-match report. They're playing a 4-4-2 as well. So who do we actually have that's fit? Billy Bentley can play. Sam Ford is good to go. Jamie Ford is good to go. It looks like Gibbs is going to get a start immediately. De Silva can play at right back. And I think that's probably going to have to do, unless we actually play Tavide wide left. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to leave him on the bench. So it looks like that's going to have to be the starting 11. We don't have too much choice in the matter, to be honest. We're fairly limited in terms of what we can do, just based on the fitness or lack of fitness of our players here. We need a couple of centre midfielders, which we just simply don't have, really. I mean, we've got Francis and we've got Anderson. So I think it's just going to have to be them. Not ideal, but this is the 11 that we're going to run out against Sutton, I believe it was. Sam Ford will get the captain's armband. And we are going to be playing Elliot Willis in goal, Jose De Silva, the new boy Caleb Taylor, Carpenter, Stanley and Bentley round out the back five. We've got the Ford boys in centre midfield, the engine room as we might call it. Brett Gibbs making his debut wide right. We've got Lancaster on the left and Jake Dale through the middle. Samson Tavide heads the lineup of substitutes. And we will check out the pre-match report in a little more detail. A flat 4-4-2 for Sutton. Just a one-star team and a pretty ropey run of form. Just one win in their last 5. They're going to set up to counter-attack, so I do like the 5-2-3 formation against this. They will press aggressively to try and win the ball back though. And they'll be springing forwards quickly with passes in behind. So, going to have to watch out for those. And we will jump into this game and try and get another victory in the league to hang on to that top spot that we have nabbed from Wrexham.
For the 18-year-old, we wondered when his chance would come to play from the start. That chance arrives today, Stuart.
Well, it does, and there's been a lot of noise about this lad.
Jake Dale leading the way in League 2 with 19 goals.
Let's hope he has a great debut.
A couple more on his tally in the cup games that we've played as well. Having an excellent season. And I am really excited to see Caleb Taylor. Not the flashiest of signings. You know, just a big, fairly lumbering centre-back. But he just looks so incredible defensively. Coming to us from a championship club as well, so quite the coup. A League 2 side picking up a championship defender in January. And that's an awful challenge right from the off. And he could be off here. The Sutton winger. Slicing through Rhys Bevan from behind, and we'll see which card the referee shows, and it is red. 2 minutes into the game and Dion Pereira has been sent off, and justifiably so, you have to say. So down a man and forced into an early change. Terrible start to the game for Sutton United, fantastic start to the game for Redmont Rangers. So we should be looking to dominate this game from here. We should have lots of possession. They're set up to counter-attack and they are now down to 10 men. So Gibbs can swing a ball in early. Blocked by the Sutton United defender and it goes out for a throw-in. Not too much happening here for De Silva in terms of players that he can find to throw to. I think we're going to have to be quite patient in this game, to be honest.
Space to cross it. Clears his lines.
I think Sutton are going to sit back. It said in their pre-match report they're going to press aggressively. I think that's likely to change. Brett Gibbs strikes towards goal. Blocked by the Sutton United defender. I think their pre-match report information might go out of the window. I think they might probably sit back and defend a little deeper now that they have lost a man. But I think we're probably still going to have to be careful on those counter-attacks.
And back with Bentley. Forward. Carpenter.
Going to enjoy a lot of possession from here, I think, and we can see there's nobody really even close to our defensive third.
Stanley. Ford.
Very patient start to the game so far for Redmont Rangers. Jake Dale picks up the ball on the edge of the box and fires one towards goal, but a fairly tame effort in the end, especially from Jake Dale's elevated standards. But we'll go again though. Ryan Lancaster trying to beat his man outside. He lifts the ball into a near post area. Not sure if he's offside here. He wasn't, but he was unable to lay the ball off for Sam Ford. Chris Bevan unable to make the interception as well, so Sutton United will venture into our half for the first time this game.
He has decided to end what's been a brilliant career at the end of this season.
And they find their way into our penalty area.
Well, what a player he's been.
Sam Carpenter will clear though. They are committing players forward, to be fair to them. And Caleb Taylor gives away a free kick in a relatively dangerous position. Not sure I'm quite as threatened by it as the commentators seem to be. Very early jump from the wall, but a harmless free kick in the end.
And it's with Da Silva.
Da Silva finds some space wide right. Gibbs makes a great run. Lifts the ball back towards Lancaster arriving at the back post, but it's blocked in out for a corner. Hans Newman looking on pensively so far. And a stunning header from Ryan Lancaster. Not known for his aerial prowess, but something that's potentially going to change after tonight. A rocket of a header from the corner. It's Gibbs that puts a nice one in there. And Lancaster beats two Sutton United defenders, just kind of gets sandwiched between them. Barely jumped either. And we've scored very few goals from corners, or from set pieces in general so far this year. Wouldn't have tipped Lancaster to be the player to get on the score sheet from that kind of position. But he is. Jamie Ford breaks up the play, and Lancaster's on his bike again. Can't quite reach the ball before the Sutton United defender, but he does this time, and he'll just play it back to Sam Carpenter to reset. Not the best pass from him, but Taylor able to find it without too much trouble.
Rangers moving the ball forward. What can they do from this position? On to Taylor. Into the advanced position. Carpenter. Da Silva.
Well worked from Redmont Rangers, but nobody's in the box. Jake Dale, for a change, was not in the position that you would expect him to be in.
It's with Taylor.
Lovely run from Sam Ford, but could only use it as a decoy in the end, really, to cut inside and go back to our back line. Sam Ford now that picks the ball up and sprays an equally good pass out to Gibbs. He'll find Da Silva, who can lift the ball into the box. Sam Ford breaks up the clearance. Jamie Ford's going to strike again like he did in the last episode against Salford City, but with the ball on his left foot, it's not quite as dangerous. Good performance so far from Redmont Rangers. Haven't pushed too hard. Haven't grown too eager and too overconfident after the red card, but pressing, controlling the game nonetheless. Carpenter. Just a really
And Taylor,
controlled, professional performance so far.
he was in the right place to intercept. Angle.
I feel like I say it every episode. At least every episode we play at home, we've got the perfect chance to restart that 5 consecutive clean sheet at home run here.
Into the advanced position.
Against Sutton United. They're down to 10 men. We've got an early lead. If we can't keep a clean sheet in this game, I don't think we can expect to keep a clean sheet in any game. So surely here we're going to get a clean sheet and we're going to move towards achieving that objective.
We're using the space really well, but now can they push on? A meaty but fair challenge, and it will be a throw-in.
Great ball from De Silva all the way over to Bevan. It's actually Billy Bentley today. Jake Dale's at the near post.
Cleared away.
So was the Sutton defender though. Jamie Ford now on his right foot, blocked by the Sutton defender, and the goalkeeper just clears with his feet rather than with his hand. Lancaster loops the ball over the head of the oncoming Sutton defender. A lovely little move from him, great skill.
Let's get the latest on the injury situation from our pitchside man, Jeff Shreves.
And as if Sutton's
So his foot is probably a bit sore.
night wasn't going poorly enough, but one of their players has now picked up a knock, so the game going from bad to worse for Sutton United. They could potentially flood forward here though and try and get something working on the counter-attack. Billy Bentley sees to that initially, but is unable to clear. Sam Ford's going to have to come across, and Carpenter makes a good block there as the Sutton defender powering up
Brilliant piece of skill.
a rocket of a shot, and Gibbs comes away.
Very effective play.
He's got a step on the Sutton defenders, but in the end there were too many of them
So getting close
for him to get
time
through.
interval, and it's good.
Looks an exciting player though, Gibbs.
Not by a lot. Stuart, what have you made of what you've seen so far?
Well, I think they've been the better side in this.
And we'll see if he can find Lancaster here on a big diagonal ball. Looks like he can.
It's been a solid performance.
Lancaster's got the pace, but not quite enough to carve out a real crossing opportunity. It's a great intervention from Sutton to nick the ball back, but Jake Dale
Big time tackle.
does enough to lay it off to Jamie Ford, who can't quite carve out the space. He's got a bit between his teeth though. He loved scoring that goal at the end of the Salford City game, and he's tried on a number of occasions to carve out a similar opportunity for himself here. That's a really poor decision from the referee. And it's a strong save from Elliot Willis. Stanley's been sloppy on the ball there though. Ford's going to have to come across and cover. He does so well. Sutton snatch at the chance, but
Get him on target, but at least they're making chances now.
looking a little dangerous for the first time in the game really. A couple of half chances there in quick succession.
Carpenter.
Nice ball from Stanley, just leading Jamie Ford up the pitch, and Jake Dale makes a great run in behind. I was just about to say we'll take the handball there.
That is going to be a free kick.
Just going to try and curl one across the penalty spot with Lancaster. It's a nice ball. Jamie Ford couldn't quite get on the end of it, but it was the right idea. De Silva lifts it into Jake Dale to try and chase down, and it's Gibbs who finds himself in the penalty area with some space. Tries to take on the Sutton defender and beat him, but the Sutton defender does enough to put it out for a corner. Closing in on half time now. And a second goal just before the break
Who's going to get
would
the end of it?
be lovely. We can't make it happen there, and it doesn't look like we going to make it happen. Silva comes across but can only force the Sutton player wide. He can't win the ball back. The cross has completely overshot all of their players though, and we'll just see it out with Ryan Lancaster here. So a 1-0 lead at half time. Lots of possession, controlled the game. Sutton have made it fairly difficult for us though. Just the single goal separating the teams at half time, thanks to that Ryan Lancaster header. Lancaster, it does look like, is going to have to come off. So Smith will play wide right and Gibbs will come over to the left. Seems to be the only change we need to make at half time. Everybody else still seems healthy enough to go. They are still playing with 3 high players, Sutton. They've got a striker and 2 wingers. So we can't get complacent. They are still going to be dangerous on the counter-attack. Keep coming with me, De Silva. He doesn't. Just wanted De Silva to continue that run on the overlap, just so Smith could lay it off to him. He didn't, so Smith had to slow down just a little. And that allowed the Sutton defender to get in and recover the ball. Starting to press a little here, Sutton. They've had a positive start to the second half. Caleb Taylor clears, but only as far as the original crosser. De Silva gets lucky there. The ball rebounding off the Sutton United defender and back to his feet.
Well, transfer speculation is all part of football, and there's been quite a lot of speculation.
Just wanted a run from Sam Ford in behind there, but he didn't make it. Gibbs will find some space though, and Jake Dale will make a run in. It's too close to the goalkeeper though. He claims the ball athletically. Jamie Ford wins the first ball. Stanley wins the second. Gibbs can't come away with it though. Sam Ford plays the ball out to Freddie Smith. Carves out a little bit of room to try and throw a ball into the box. But a couple of deflections sees it out for a Sutton United throw-in. Another change for Sutton, so they've only got one more round of substitutions, but still 3 substitutions that they could potentially make. And it feels like we're going to need a second goal here. For some reason I just don't feel comfortable with a single goal lead. Maybe it is that poor defensive record, that complete failure to keep a clean sheet at any point. That's got to be a handball, ref, and it is. Just a 1-goal lead, we just feel shaky, nervous. It's like the players know that they can't keep a clean sheet. Fred Smith does well to force another corner. He's playing for his Redmont Rangers career, really. Hans Newman has considered releasing him. Jake Dale finds the ball at his feet and somehow he bundles it in. The linesman's flag stays down. The referee's whistle does not blow. And it's Jake Dale that's doubled the lead, because of course it's Jake Dale that's doubled the lead.
Well, here it is again. And I don't think it's good enough for the goal.
An ugly goal, but a goal nonetheless. Goalkeeper comes out, makes a real hash of things. Slides out with his feet rather than his hands, and Jake Dale, as he so often is first to the loose ball in the 6-yard box. And now all of a sudden it does feel a little more comfortable. Jamie Ford just brushes the Sutton defender off. They seem defeated now, Sutton. Sam Ford makes a lovely little run, reverses the pass with Jake Dale, who makes it 3. A lovely goal from Redmont Rangers. A brilliant run from Sam Ford across the D, and then just reverses the pass in the opposite direction from his run. Jake Dale on the same page, and with his left foot almost on the penalty spot. He's not going to make any mistakes from there. Hans Newman's loving it. We're not guaranteed to stay top. Well, I mean, I guess we're guaranteed to stay top for now. But I believe we have played one extra game over Wrexham, so...
Well, possession ceded.
Guaranteed to stay top for now, but when Wrexham play their game in hand, that could change. Brett Gibbs somehow manages to come away with the ball. Cuts inside, doesn't quite have the burst to get past the Sutton defender there. I haven't checked his acceleration style. He is fairly pacey. Fred Smith has made a great run. Jake Dale could be in for his hat-trick. Smith tries to find him but fails. Probably should have just taken the shot on himself, but instead made the decision to square the ball to Jake Dale, who's looking for a hat-trick. Maybe Freddie Smith could see Samson Tavide warming up on the bench there. Again, he squares it rather than taking the ball on himself. He finds Gibbs this time, who in turn finds Sam Ford. Finds Bentley on the edge of the box. He's going to take a strike with his right foot. It's his weaker foot, but it's a powerful shot that the goalkeeper has to parry. Can't hold on to the first time, but does it the second time of asking. And it's all Redmont Rangers now. I think we're going to keep pressing the issue. I don't want to sit back. I feel like that causes more problems for us. I feel like our best chance of keeping a clean sheet today is to continue attacking. And oh, that's a really dangerous pass. I want to continue attacking and having the ball in the Sutton half as much as possible. I feel like if we sit back, just try and keep possession of the ball in our own half, we're just inviting them on.
Giving the ball away. And it's with Da Silva.
We don't need to push the issue too much. I could have tried to play a ball down the channel there, but it would have been a dangerous one, not one that we were guaranteed to come away with. So in those instances, I'm happy enough just to turn around and pass backwards instead. But I don't want to take my foot off the pedal too much. Smith tries to find Jake Dale again, can't quite. It goes out for a goal kick. I think Jake Dale has had his night, and he's going to come off for Samson Tavide. I don't really see a need to make another change just yet, so we'll hang on to the last three, which will probably make around the 80-minute mark. Another top performance from Jake Dale, though. Continues the incredible season that he's having. And we'll see if Samson Tavide can join the fun by getting on the score sheet as well. He might not get on the score sheet, but he lays it nicely in for Gibbs, who tries to fire across the goalkeeper. Redmont Rangers fans' first look at the youngster. The first player to have come up through the Redmont Academy. And he does look an exciting talent. Puts another good ball into the box from the corner there.
He read the situation defensively and did his job.
Oh, a fantastic intervention from Carpenter. Gets a little too ahead of himself with the pass though. Sells out Billy Bentley, but a really big, strong challenge there. Just ushering the Sutton attacker off the ball. And we've got space down the right hand side again here. Samson to Vide, and it's a 3-on-1 really. Tavide takes another shot himself. It thunders against the bar. Gibbs pulls it back for Sam Ford, who pulls it wide. Tavide just kind of settling on the ball, allowing the Sutton United defender to make his decision. In the end, he decided not to do anything at all, really. So Samson Tavide unleashed a shot at goal. Unfortunate that it came back off the bar.
Spot on for that challenge. Da Silva.
This has been a really dominant performance from Redmont Rangers. Poor pass from Jose Da Silva there though. Sets Sutton on their way. We'll see what Caleb Taylor can do. And it's forced the player out of play. Sam Ford wants the ball. He gets it from Jose Da Silva.
Carpenter.
Nice ball from Taylor across the Stanley that the Redmont fans enjoy.
That's an important intervention.
It's a poor pass from Billy Bentley. He just needed to lay it into Jamie Ford, but he put a little too much on it.
A good vision there. Giving it away. Well, the seconds are ticking away, and the home side.
Gibbs just manages to find Billy Bentley. If he makes that run into that space again, Bentley's put a little too much on it. He just needed to lay it into the space for Gibbs to run onto. But again, a little overzealous, ended up overcooking the pass. Great challenge from Jamie Ford though. And Gibbs is making a run wide left. It's not the best pass from Smith, but it's good enough to get Gibbs the ball. Laid back to Billy Bentley, who finds Jamie Ford inside him. There's space wide right for Smith this time. It's a really poor touch. That's an interesting challenge. And Tavide, he just needed to make a run towards the 6-yard box, but instead ends up running away from it. Fantastic touch from Sam Ford to bring it down and fire at goal. It's getting late in the game now, 86 minutes. So we'll make those final 3 changes next time the ball goes out of play. Tavide makes a great run and he stays onside as Gibbs manages to find him. Did want to cut inside there, but I couldn't quite find the angle. The Sutton defender just kind of hugging close to the inside shoulder of Tavide to force him out wide. I guess we'll bring Bevan on. I think I'll bring Ford off for Francis. Let's bring both the Ford boys off actually and give them both a rest.
Very good effort, just inches away from being a brilliant goal.
About 5 minutes left, injury time included. And we're drawing close to the first clean sheet in a number of games really. I'm not sure when our last clean sheet was.
They couldn't keep it.
And I'm certainly not sure when our last home clean sheet was, so
And nicely over the top.
I would have liked... Oh, that's so frustrating. I really wanted Elliot Willis to come out and claim that.
Well, as you can see, he just couldn't.
He needs to come out there. Again, he's just allowed the ball to loop up in that no man's land. And it's the Sutton, the Sutton attacker rather, that gets his head on it first. And then Willis just ends up palming it into the roof of the net. And again, there goes our clean sheet. Again, it's a late goal.
So back underway at 3-1.
I mean, it's a 3-1 victory. We can't complain too much.
We're going to have 5 minutes of stoppage time.
But it is incredibly frustrating that we just cannot seem to shut teams out.
And Bentley with it. And a chance to whip it in here. And played the pass well. Smith
is terrible. His first touch is just awful every time. Done well to win the ball back there though. Francis is played in by Tavide, and Francis can't quite make it forward. We've been kind of a consolation goal for us, a pointless goal really. I don't care about scoring a fourth. I care far more about not conceding a first, which we've already done. So not a lot of difference between 3-1 and 4-1, but there is a big difference between 3-0 and 3-1. And that's another horrific challenge. They might be down to 9 here. Just a yellow on this occasion. Harry Buchanan. Not a beautiful challenge.
Well, if they're not careful, they're going to lose a couple more players here. They've completely lost their discipline. They're out of control at the moment.
And there goes the final whistle.
So, a 3-1 victory for Redmont Rangers. We do stay top,
We talked about their ability to score goals at
but the victory
and once again they delivered.
dampened
For me,
somewhat
they're always looking for the most
by the late goal
It's a great
conceded.
example of teams that keep possession for the sake of it.
Just can't
I think
seem
they enjoy to watch at the moment.
to keep a clean sheet, and I will have a look at the calendar and see when it was the last time that we kept a clean sheet. Hans Newman will be happy, but he won't be ecstatic. 60% possession, 14 shots to just 5, 227 passes, 82% of which found their mark. Wrexham do win, so we will just be 2 points ahead, and they will still have a game in hand, so
Time for a few quick questions.
we haven't secured top spot just yet. Are we disappointed that Taylor didn't make much of an impact? I mean, let's be realistic, there's not much of an impact he could have made. He didn't put a foot wrong, it's just, you know, we dominated the game so heavily that he didn't have too much of an opportunity to really impress. Couldn't have asked for more from Dale today. Such a good player. Have we proved that we've got better players? We do have better players than Sutton for sure. We're a stronger side. And our league,
Thanks very much.
respective league positions certainly demonstrate that. Let's finish the episode by taking a quick look at the calendar then. We are still 2 points ahead of Wrexham, but as we said, they do have a game in hand. Transfer budget is all but gone. Same with the weekly budget. And let's see if we can find a 0 in here that does not belong to us. Conceded in every game in January. We won 3-0 against Morecambe on the 16th of December. And we beat Accrington Stanley the week before. So a couple of clean sheets there. One in a home victory, one in an away. But very little before or since. So definitely some positives from the game, but just one negative that can't help but leave kind of a leave a mark, leave a slight taint on the victory. So we'll leave the episode there. In that next episode we will be taking on Morecambe again. That'll be away. We've also got Mansfield and we have got Wimbledon at home, so the next opportunity to potentially pick up a clean sheet, and one shortly after with Accrington Stanley at home in the league as well. So we'll take on those 3 teams in the next episode, where we will try and secure top spot. We are neck and neck with Wrexham, as we have been, it feels like, almost all season now. So we'll try and extend that lead at the top, try and secure top spot as we approach the run in to the end of the season. And so until the next episode, take it easy.